All right, let's try this. See if we get a massive feedback loop again. Again, everybody, I apologize. New hardware, working the bugs out. It's been known to happen to the best of us, and the worst of us, and some of us, and mostly me. All right, let's try this. Oh, there we go. See, now we're getting sound coming through. Okay, I'm going to assume, until I hear the feedback loop from hell, that everything is cool. And what I'd like to do is start again if I could. Yeah, everything seems to be fine from my monitoring, but I'm not going to guarantee anything. If you're here and you hear something weird, please tell me. I apologize for earlier. So my whole talk about the mods was shot, so I'm going to kind of redo that. So I have a few mods that I have to have. These are absolute musts. One is the city lighting, which changes the lightings for the city. This is a new one I just activated. That's a must-have. The sewer mod, which changes all your markers in the game where you pick up and drop off or buy gas or get on the ferry or the train or whatever, gets replaced. Instead of the big green ugly icons, it has sewer grates. There's an equivalent for American Truck Sim as well. They use different items in that one. Realistic headlighting. It's a 500% increase in the quality easily with that one there. And then the sound fixes. Absolute must-have for me. Makes a huge difference in the sound of the surrounding vehicles. These would be the 4 that I could not play without at the moment. I have the minimal advisor interface, which gives you instead of everything in one square box, gives you a bar across the top for your advisor info for the jobs, the time remaining, so forth. And then the job info and the trailer damage info gets put in a box at the bottom center. And if you bring up the route advisor map, it'll be on the bottom right. Just makes it a little cleaner. Cecil's Mega Pack. If you're like decorating the interior of your truck, you definitely want this. But the other one that I've been playing with lately that I can't do without is the Volvo F88. This is an old truck brought into the game. It's by XBS. You will not find this on the Steam Workshop. It's only available on the SCS forums. SCS software forums. So if you look under mods and then models and then trucks and look for Volvo F88 by XPS, you'll see that what he's got in there. There's also a little add-on that gives you some extra equipment in the truck. So makes a few things, and he's actually got a link here in this one that gets you to his thread on the SCS forums as well. I've got an old trailer for it if I want to pull that up. I don't really use it. And I've got Ekery Trailers, which is an add-on trailer pack. Gives you a different brand of trailers in the game just for variety. The rest of this is pretty straightforward. Cabin accessories, lights, real European company names, real gas station names, and some mods I have for the Scania that I also drive. So let's jump back into the game and see what we can come up with here. Okay, as you can see, that's my Volvo. That's what I currently run. Love that truck. And there's the interior in the Volvo. Comes standard with a clock, AM, FM radio, and an aftermarket GPS. Double bunks. Pretty straightforward stuff. So where are we? Yes. So we're actually in Lublin, and we were going to take a short job up somewhere around Szczecin. I'm not even sure if I'm saying that right. Let's see if we can still find a job. There we go. Smoke deal. So let's have a go here. The route advisor on there, but the minimal route advisor, if you take a look on the top of the screen, you can see it. The bar is set up there. And when I bring up the information for a job or the damage on the truck, it's here. Or if I bring up the actual GPS map, it's here. And since I have a GPS in the cab, I don't normally need that, so I do use the map for looking around, or the mouse for looking around. And I actually have a 16-speed transmission set up on the Volvo. Oh, those brakes are touchy. Set up on the Volvo. Find it a little easier with these. I haven't enabled the paddle shifters, just simply because for streaming they're so loud every time I touch them. They just make a hell of a lot of noise for no reason. See, I've got the brakes set up and weighted for driving the old Mack truck in American Truck Sim, so they're a little touchy. But that's okay. Once I get some weight in the truck, it'll be a whole different ballgame. As I was saying in the previous iteration of the stream, before everything went haywire, which was probably instantaneously and I didn't know, earlier today I was perusing Twitch as one does and looking through the Euro Truck Simulator section to see who was playing what, and I came across a guy from Australia, Almond Plays, and started chatting with him and had a good time. He's fairly new to ETS and has a lot of the map content. Has all the map content, sorry. Doesn't run pro mods. Doesn't run any mods whatsoever. So that's why I went over the mods at the beginning of the stream here. It was more or less for him. So Almond, if you're watching, that was for you. And this one here. This is going to be fun because I'm going to have to put up or shut up. I was bugging him about his parking. Parking of the trailer, so I'm going to have to prove that I can put my money where my mouth is. Let's see where they're throwing me. Oh, it looks like it's going to be one of those easier ones. Oh yeah, it's put up or shut up time, right? I think this was the one he tried the hard parking on. It was basically the exact same layout. So let's see what I can do and if I can make him look like he was... Well... Now the bonus here... I know I'm way off. The bonus here is that I have a steering trailer. So it's got its own steerable axles. And these really help out when you're backing up. Gets them cut in a lot quicker. So now that I've got it cut over there, I just bring it the other way really hard. It turns very quickly, so you have to sort of get used to it. Cut it the last little bit here. If it goes green, we're happy. We'll take it. Oh, that is so off. Okay, Almond, you win. That's it. I owe you a beer or two. It's been a while. I'm so used to parking with the Mac without the steerable trailer that it kind of messes with you. Doesn't take long before it throws you off. I think there are also longer trailers in ATS. That's my excuse. I'm sticking to it. Try not to get 50% trailer damage before the job is even done. There we go. Okay, let's load the freight. Let's load it up. Okay. Get this thing started. Do a quick check on the route. Everything's good out of here. Coming straight across, a few toll gates and straight up. That shouldn't be too bad. That should not be too bad at all. And we have a full tank of gas. Everything's good. Let's go drive a truck. Just check one thing before I jump out on the road here. No, everything looks good. I just want to make sure there were no errors in the streaming software. You know what? Go by. I don't want you here. So the sound screw up earlier was because Windows decided to update drivers. And we all know how much fun that can be. So I use a piece of software that acts as a mixer that some people might be familiar with. It's called Voice Meter Banana. And it basically takes different inputs like my microphone or the game or so forth and assigns it different inputs on a mixer, and it updated one of the drivers somewhere along the line and reset the default. So what I was getting is I was getting double inputs on my mixer for the sound, which is just bloody lovely. That's what all the echoing was about. It was feeding back. The mixer was being, the output on the mixer was being fed back into the input on the mixer, which is generally not the best way of doing it. Hey! Oh, you just missed it if you weren't here. I did the hard parking and screwed it up. Thanks a lot for the follow there, Omen. Appreciate it. Much appreciated. Yeah, spoke about you a little bit ago. Mentioned how I shot my mouth out over you about the parking, the hard parking, and then proceeded to do a hard parking and screwed it up and had to do it twice. Even rammed the building. So you guys staying, or you just, oh, you're gonna catch the video on demand? Okay, there's gonna be two of them because I had some problems earlier. Windows decided to update the PC and it was causing a looping echo thing when it updated my audio drivers. So don't look at the short one and look at the longer one. And I apologize. I did go through the mods for you, so you get a little bit of an idea. And I'm sure that you'll get something out of it. But I appreciate the follow. Did you manage to get the trip to Paris done without killing everybody? Yeah, I imagine it is a little late there. As I said, when you're driving on the continent, passenger to the curb if you're in the wrong side there. I appreciate the follow. Appreciate the banter earlier in your game too. That was fun. And he's hosting me as well. Isn't that nice? You meet the nicest people on Twitch. Absolutely fantastic. There we go. Let's drive the old Volvo. Third person style. Not quite an exact match. Not quite. Close enough for the paint job. At least I was able to get a metallic paint job for it. Hard to get one for the trailer. No French people were harmed in the filming of my stream. Did another job after that. And did some reverse park and everything. I would have been proud. You know what? Hey, we all started somewhere. Like I said, I've been playing mainly ATS for the last little bit, so this is a steerable trailer, and I wasn't used to it. A little bit shorter, steerable, turns in real quick, and of course I hit the building. It was great. That's what you missed. Anyways, have a good one, mate, and I'll catch you around again. You can check the VOD later. I'm just off somewhere from Poland doing some drops, so enjoy, sleep well. Yeah, this truck is not, as you can see, it struggles a little bit even on the small hills. Even when I get on the Autobahn and I'm doing 80 or 90, you know, you get a bit of a rise and she starts to slow down. But I still love it. And I think it looks cool with the old school switches. And even like the windshield wipers. Little knobs turn on the lights. It's a push button. I got a push button on the one side, on the left side of the dash. games. It's all just seems more connected. You get the you get in some of the new trucks nowadays, like the, I think the Scania, I usually drive Scania S, has got like, 750 horsepower and 14, 15, 1600 pounds of torque, whatever it is. And I mean, you just basically put your foot down and go. This thing here, you gotta battle it a little bit. I also have gone in and enabled the physics on the trailer and the truck as well. That's not fully implemented, even though they were talking about it for being in this release, because they wanted to keep it stable enough for keyboard users and gamepad users to use. But if you have a wheel and you're playing this, I would really suggest looking into it. Basically, there is a slider in the gameplay settings for trailer stability. That's the only one you can play with right now. But there are two settings that you can change in the console or in your config files. And actually, Squirrel, who's a streamer on Twitch and has a great YouTube channel, does a really nice video on what the differences are and how to enable it and change it and make it set up properly for your settings, because the only one accessible at the moment is the trailer stability from inside the game settings. Everything else from the console. There's basically three settings. You've got trailer stability, truck stability, and then suspension stiffness. Now, what I find is on an old truck like this, that really isn't 100% set up for the changes in the physics. It's compatible, but I think it does a lot more bobbing and weaving with the setup when you have everything set to 0, which is where it should be for a wheel. The Scania, when I drove it and I had the settings way down, it made a difference, but it didn't feel life-threatening. You had to slow down more on the curves. You couldn't just throw it on a ramp and expect to survive at 100 kilometers an hour taking the ramp with these new settings where you could before. So I turned around and I checked the forum threads, and everybody was suggesting that with this particular model, instead of having the oops, now I have to look at the light from here. The trailer stability is either a 1 or a 0. So the slider that you're adjusting game is adjusting it from 1 to 0. 0 being what you would have for more realistic settings. The truck stability is the same, but you have to do that in the console, and you do that from setting it from either I believe it's a 1 as well, or 0. And then suspension stiffness is either 0.5 to 0. And they said with this particular truck, with the Volvo F88, that you should set the suspension stiffness at, oops, I just blew a red light because I wasn't paying attention. Sorry. Suspension stiffness should be set at half. So if the range was 0.5 to 0, I set it at 0.25. And then the truck stability was set at half as well. So if it was a 1 or a 0, I put it at 0.5. Come on, get on the brakes. That's one thing I find too, is that there are differences with the the way the trucks perform, even with the same settings, because I had American Truck Simulator first, and I was doing that and had everything set up, and I just copied my control files over rather than having to go to reprogram the wheel, or at the time it was the gamepad and everything. But I have the exact same settings here as ATS, and as far as the controls, even the sensitivity on the brakes and all that. And I mean, even switching between going from a Scania to this, you turn around, and even though you haven't adjusted the brakes, the Scania with this setting, when I have, 25 tons on it or whatever, if I stand on the pedal, on the brake pedal, the Scania responds and stops fairly quickly, whereas this thing seems to just like take forever to slow down and come to a standstill. And I found the same thing in American Truck Sim. I have the max set up. The feel for the brakes is just right. And then I turn around and get in one of the other trucks, the Volvo or the Peterbilt, and all of a sudden it's like I touch the brakes and it's like dead stop. Almost a difference if you played this game. Almost a difference when you're using the brakes from having a full load to an empty load. It's an empty load, you breathe on the brake pedal and you're coming to a stop in a hurry. So let's see, distance 452. Gotta get out of these cities so I can start putting some speed on, and we're gonna be in trouble here. See, I've got my foot right to the floor right now, trying to climb up to the speed limit. And of course, we're going to have toll gates up here. And I am not sure which lane to be in for the telepass, and there's nobody in front of me. And I can't tell. The truck was on that side, so maybe I'm going to have to stop and pay. Let's use a little bit more road than we need to. Yeehaw. Speed limit here, 80. And when do we have to be there? Between 8:57 and 15:57. Oh, we got lots of time. Lots of time. I could even stop for sleep. I know that Almond was complaining all the speeding tickets and fines and everything else, and I told him, I said I had to turn that off because the AI is crazy and it will kill you. It will try to kill you. Buses will ram you at roundabouts. Trucks will cut you off. They will go from the right lane to the left lane to the right lane for no apparent reason. They don't know how to merge. When you go from a single carriageway to a dual carriageway, they slow down almost to a stop. Oh, 1 second, people. My cat wants to come in and he's at the window, so I'm going to pause for 1 minute here. Okay, I apologize for that. But the cat rules the roost. So I had to let him in. He is not happy with the weather. We're in Switzerland and we got rain and snow this morning, and he was not a happy camper. I haven't really done a lot of jobs in this area. Like, even if we look at the map here, you can see I have not explored a lot. I've done a couple of the major routes, but all of this is left unexplored. And there's a bunch of places in Germany I haven't been to. And when you look back this way, I've been a few more places in Italy and France. So I've got it worked out how to work the Italian toll gates, but I'm not sure. French as well. French is easy. It's always the same. The Italians change all the time, but you know what? I'm going to follow the truck. I'm going to follow the truck and see if it makes a difference here. I don't know if this is a telepass or not. No, I guess they're all manual. If anybody knows, I would think that one of these lanes has to have the telepass thingies. That's one difference between playing with the Euro and the American. With the American, it's all the way stations. Don't really have tolls. You got a couple tolls in San Francisco area for some of the bridges, but it's mainly the way stations. And you know what? To be honest, I'm not sure which one I prefer more. I'm really not sure. Either way, it doesn't matter. Whenever I play American, I'm always complaining about the way stations. And when I play Euro, I'm always complaining about the toll booths. French are fine because you come in on a 2-lane like this to the toll booths. The first 2 gates are going to be the ones you want to head to. The actual AI trucks will move to the last gate, but the first 2 are fine for the cars. And then with the Italian, well, you have to just kind of zoom in like this and take a look for the yellow zebra marks on the ground. This one has marks too, but I can never tell which one. Let's see here. I'm just going to adjust my camera up a little bit and see if I can get a better idea. See, the markings are the same. I don't see any telepass. Oh, maybe there's telepass on the last one there. Well, hello, pussycat. What's wrong? Did Lassie tell you to come and get me? Hey, did Timmy fall down the well and Lassie couldn't figure it out? So they sent you? Yes, Cat is not happy. Oh yay, sun's going down, it's going to be right in my eyes, and it's starting to rain. This is lovely. Hey, Almond, look, it's not even London. Now, the fastest I've had this truck up to was 95 kilometers an hour. That was top gear, downhill, tailwind, however you want to put it. There was no way it was going any faster, which is good. It means it's a little harder to get speeding tickets. But I also just enjoy the fact that it does lumber. It does take its time to get up a hill. It does take a while to get up to speed. You know, with some of the heavier loads in France, the toll gates are so close together that going one toll gate to the other, I couldn't even reach the speed limit in some places, which is 90 in France, so makes it a little awkward. So used to American trucks, and if you hear a helicopter, it's generally check the lane in front of you. It's probably police pulled somebody over and they're checking them with the helicopter. We actually need to have a little discussion with SCS software regarding a few things in the game. On this particular profile, I've got 160 garages, probably 130, 140 trucks, and 225, 235 trailers. And the simple method of moving things around in this game is not so simple. For a truck, it's easy because you go find the truck, click relocate, tell it where, say okay. Same thing with the driver. When it comes to a trailer, it's like, okay, so I find the trailer, I click on it, then I click relocate, and then I select where. And then you should be okay and done, but it's not. You hit okay, and then it says, are you sure? You say yes. And then it comes up with another box that says it's been transferred. Click okay. That's extra steps that aren't needed there for a reason. It's just a complication. That's all that is. There's not a consistency in there. The other thing is trying to organize trucks and trailers now that they have the new layout where you have what do they refer to it as? They refer to it as your current builds or custom builds. The thing is, there's no way to delete those out and say from now on I just want to start with this one. What you have to do is you have to get rid of all the trailers or the trucks. That's the only way that you can get a custom build taken off that list. You know, something as simple as I have different lug nuts on this truck than I do on that truck. Now you have 2 custom builds. Even though everything else would be identical. You could take a stock truck, go in and change one thing like the lug nuts there. And that's it. All of a sudden, it's now custom build. So, that's bothersome. The other one that's bothersome is the fact that at the beginning of making a profile, they get you to choose 3 things. Your name in the game. They get you to choose your company name. Sorry, 4 things. Your company name, your name, and a company logo and a favorite truck. Your name is understandable. Gotta have a profile name. We'll use that. Your favorite truck, that's actually used in the game because if you select a Volvo when you start out, the Volvo will be the first dealership that contacts you. That will be the first one that you discover because it'll happen by them emailing you saying, hey, when you're interested, here we are, coming by. So that's understandable. They ask you for a company name, which is only used as like a header on top of pages and in your profile that says, hey, this is the company name. It is not used anywhere in the game. Anywhere. You know, the least they could do is if they're going to ask you for a company name, is that shows up on a signboard when you buy a garage. You buy the garage, and all of a sudden it says, you know, in my case, Caffeine Fueled Logistics. That's my company name. It doesn't have to be fancy. It could be just straight text. But it should appear somewhere. Doesn't appear on your trucks, your trailers, your garage, nothing. Another option you have there. Oh, Pussycat wants outside. The other option is the logo. Nowhere does that appear. Besides on the in-game screens. It doesn't appear on a truck or anything else. Oh. And again, Pussycat rules. Pussycat wants back out. One moment. Sorry about that again. Yeah, so the logo isn't used anywhere either. Anywhere in the game. It's not appearing on the truck. It's not appearing on a trailer. It's not appearing on the garage. Nothing. The other one that bothers me is our drivers that we hire. We're employers. We hire these drivers. We buy them a truck. We buy them a trailer. Or we make trailers available to them. And some of us take pride and say, hey, you know, I want all my trucks to have all the same paint job. And it's going to be a custom color. It might be the exact same paint job that you see in game from other AI vehicles, but your colors are going to be unique. They have that because you've painted your truck. You've selected it when you bought the truck. And that truck never appears in game. You will never pass. Doesn't matter how many trucks you own, you will never pass one of your own. I think that's crazy. I think that's absolutely crazy. Why even bother? Why even bother? I should be able to drive along here and be passed or pass by one of my trucks. And then when I look at the job logs later, I should see that, yeah, one of my drivers was in this area doing a job and I passed by him. You know, I mean, it's not hard for them to do. They have all the files for all the other company names, all the other colors. You know, I have seen custom paint jobs throughout the game in many different places. I figured we were getting close. Yeah, we'll get off and then almost there. Okay. You know, one of them, I pick up at DHL. I'm driving my own trailer. I pass DHL trailers. Why can't they have the ones that I choose on the trucks that I choose appear in game randomly? The AI says, yeah, driver 5 has a job that supposedly takes him from here to here. That means he'll be traveling this road. It's around the same time. How about he passes him on the road? You would think that would be an easy thing for them to implement. Just as easily as having the name of your company that they make you type in appear as text on your garage. I mean, I have, you know, like I said, 125, 130 trucks, and I never see them. I can drive any one of them at any time, so we know that they track all the information. If there's no driver in a vehicle, I can turn around and select it and drive it at any time. Doesn't matter what where it is. You know, so if they're tracking it, why can't they put it on the road as an AI? I think that would go a long way in making things a little more a little more, how should I say that? I don't want to say immersion because that's always the excuse. But yeah, make it a little more immersive that, yeah, I own, you know, 2 trucks, 20 trucks, 200 trucks, 2,000 trucks, whatever. I should see them on the road once in a while. Especially with the way it works with the AI, that they always take a job from their home garage to a town, and then if they can, they get a job coming back. So they're always out and back. You know, that should be a no-brainer, that if I'm doing a job to and from my home garage, I should run into that vehicle. There's also no reason why they can't have our name on the garage. Even if it's just text, it can be plain text. They don't have to do fancy script writing. They don't have to make it glow and blink and everything else. Just, you know, a white sign with black letters or something along that line. If they really want to get fancy, even the logo that they choose, you know, they could make that appear. There's only a choice of about 6 of them, I think. It's either 6 or 8. See, that's the difference with the lighting mod. If you look at the high beams, what I use here, much more like a real high beam, especially on the trucks. The trucks tend to have some powerful lights. Enough about my ranting. Just things I'd like to see. I really enjoy these games, so. Yeah, I'm missing one of the map DLCs, Beyond the Baltics, which I need to get for this. I have everything for ATS. I don't have all the DLCs for Euro Truck because there's some I'm never going to use. It's not worth me getting like a paint jobs for a DAF or, you know, tuning pack for a Merc or something, because it's not trucks I drive. But I have, you know, the heavy cargo and special cargo and stuff like that. I'm just missing some of the DLC for the tuning packs and stuff. I did get, what was it, the steering wheel pack? No. Oh, the cabin accessory pack. I got that because it was part of a bundle with another DLC that I bought. So, I do have parts But I see no reason to go out and get a tuning pack or paint job pack for trucks I don't drive. And to be honest, some of the paint jobs are kind of garish in my opinion, but that's me. And I think, unfortunately, this is the only job I'm going to be able to do on the stream today because of the half-hour screw-up of what happened earlier with the audio. Thanks, Microsoft. Yeah, I kind of figured something was up with that. So I've never had that happen before. I thought I had misconfigured something, but nothing had changed between yesterday and today, and yesterday it was fine. And then when I get out, the little action window pops open and says, hey, we're updating Windows and we'll let you know when we're going to restart. We won't restart it while you're using it. And I was like, oh boy. That would explain it. Excuse me. See? Buses will kill you. Never trust the AI that drives a bus in here. They pull out on you all over the place. They'll cut you off. They pull out into the side of your trailer after you've gone past them in a roundabout. They will just randomly pull out and smack your trailer with the bus. Don't trust them. Never, ever, 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 ever. No, slow down. You don't want to roll the truck. So normally, the way I do things is I'll finish this job, and then what standard do is look on the map. If there's a garage in the area that I can buy, I'll go and buy it, and I'll upgrade it. Don't necessarily put trucks in right away, but I will go and buy it, upgrade it, tank up, because when you upgrade the garage you get your own pumps. Once I've done that, then I'll head to I will head to the you know what, I'm not going to. I'm going to continue. I want to catch that personnel station here, job set or job at net or whatever. There we go, that's discovered. Okay. Yeah, so first buy the new whatever garage is available. I go and repair the truck after I've bought the garage and gassed up. On the way to going to the repair center, I will try to do any driving explorations that allow me to knock off any job centers or truck dealers, just to get them out of the way. Map as much as I can. and then I'll look at the job going on to the next place. And there are some times when I really don't find a job in the area that I like. And yes, I'm sorry, but I'm skipping this. Sorry, Almond. You can shoot me later. You know, sometimes I'll just skip a job or skip to a new location, go to a garage that I own or whatever. So what I'll do here is I'll look on the map. And let's see, there is a garage I can buy. And there's a truck center. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go here first. I don't want to go that particular way though. I'll go here. Then here. That puts me by the... Oops. Let me erase that. Add to the end. Puts me by the truck center. And I'll come up here. By the garage. Go to the repair center. So let's do that, then we'll call it a trip. One thing I noticed too that you got to be careful is that if you do have an AI vehicle turning in to the side street you're coming out of, you got to stop short because otherwise they'll run right into you. Because they're about as bright as a bunch of rocks. They're not the smartest. If you watch Big Bang Theory, Sheldon's mom, you know, she talks about how smart Sheldon is, but she was lucky because her other two kids were as dumb as soup, which I find is a pretty good way of describing the AI in this game. As dumb as soup. Or a box of rocks. I think is another way she's expressed that. I have my own saying. It's the old proverbial, he's not the sharpest knife in the drawer. No. He's not the sharpest knife. He's not even a spoon. There's the new garage I'm going to buy. So as you can see, there's no marker here like the other places. It's got that manhole cover. So let's buy it. If you're wondering why I don't get the fancy, you just bought a garage screen, it's because I've turned the cutscenes off. And we drive through here. I can stop for the night, or I can pull up here. There's the garage. Not too far. Hang on. Come on. It's going to make me do it the hard way. Hang on. So we have grad manager. Jeez, I didn't even look. Where the heck am I? What's the name of the place again? That's it. Okay. Garage manager. City. There we go. Upgrade. Yep. And you'll notice that there's no green marker at the pump either. It's another manhole cover. So again, come over here. Let's fill it up, and then we take it to the repair center. There we go. So let's do some service here. And that's it. Now the one thing I will do is for anybody that's still with me and is interested in this old Volvo, I want to show you what your options are. So the base configuration is this. Real simple. So your cab choices are the sleeper or day cab. You have your choice. Double axle four-wheel. That's with a tag lift. A long wheelbase single axle. I'll show you why for that in a minute. Or double axle with a tag lift. So if I leave this and head back here to the features, I can do this. Which is not something you see all the time, but you can do that with this mod. If I go back and I go, let's just go with a standard single. Your engine choices, that's the big boy right there. 330 horsepower, 1300 newton meters. And you can pair that up the best you can hope for. What's that one there? Everything's the same, just the final drive ratio. So inside, you've got your basic cabin. You got it with color matched. Or you get the brown. Interior options. Stuff you can put on the seat. Your radio. Your extra dash spaces. Once you buy that, you can pop on a GPS from the Cecil pack. I believe somewhere in here is a GPS. Yeah, tablet GPS. You can put a stone guard on the window. Put a compass up there if you like. Pretty standard stuff. Steering wheels. You can go old school. Standard or standard large rim. Pretty straightforward, nothing fancy. As far as the outside features, you put a steel sunroof, painted sunroof. You can add a top bed in the bunk. You got light adapters for. You got a roof spoiler, headboard with illumination, or the headboard, the stairs, everything. Like I said, you can put that stone guard on there if you want. I think it looks a little goofy, but that's me. You can add curtains inside your truck, of course, all the typical stuff. Your mirrors, want them painted, chrome, singles, doubles. Your grills, you can have the old style, UK style, or standard style. What do you want for your logo? Reflectors, painted or stock. Bush bars if you want them. I mean, you can go real old school. You can change the bumpers depending on what you like. Some of them aren't compatible with other parts. Your steps. Door handles are all stock. For your pipes, normally it's a standard under. You can make it vertical if you like. Slap some front fenders on. This is the coverage on your deck. Throw a spare tire in the back end. Change your mud flaps. Whether you want your components painted or not, that also affects the tank. Depending on how you want the layout. And of course your rims and so forth and so on, your lights and all that typical stuff. And that's basically it. So your base price, even before you start adding options on this thing, 28,000 euros. So it's a good mod to have. You can start out cheaply. That's it. So anybody that dropped by and checked out the stream and stuck with me through the audio glitches at the beginning, I appreciate it. That's no regular happening. That's not something that should be a normal occurrence. But I want to really appreciate you dropping by. And let's see who I can Let's see who I can throw you to. There's got to be somebody here that I can throw you to. Let me see. You know, I've never done this. I've never done it how they do a raid. So you're going to have to bear with me here. I'd really like to be able to toss you to somebody that's doing stuff. You know what? I really don't know how to do that. That was a new feature that they put in. And I really don't know. I saw it before. But I'm not really great at this stuff. I much appreciate you guys showing up and sticking around. And I think we're going to call that about it for today. I appreciate all of you showing up. If you want to give a follow, that's great. If you want to just catch me the next time I'm on, usually Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm trying to make, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm trying to make that my regular time at around 1 Central European. And there'll be more posted. I randomly stream on the weekend as well, not just Euro Truck or American Truck. I play some Elite Dangerous. The other games are listed below. And hope you have a great day. And remember, do something nice for somebody. Doesn't matter whether it's online or in real life, just do something nice for somebody. There's enough crap in this world that we can balance it out with a little bit of work from all of us. All right. Have a great day, and we'll catch you next time.